Hey guys, this is Maury Ford with Jessup and Associates in the Case Sales Group. We had the privilege of sitting down with the Reid family to document the video that you're about to watch. This is a great video that encompasses 50 years of history. As you can imagine, there's a tremendous amount that we could tell. This video could go on for days. Well, we hope that you will enjoy the video and also look to the website for the rest of the fall. There'll be additional interviews with Shepherd Hill's longtime employees, one of the first employees from Miss Ida. There's also going to be some great stories and some backstories on some things that you may not have heard before. So we hope you enjoy the video. We hope that you will look to the website and some of the e-blasts in the future to get another glimpse or maybe a deeper glimpse behind the scenes of Shepherd Hills, that great American company celebrating 50 years this year. Ida Reid starts it all. Shepherd Hills, Randy, Rod, Becky, everybody steps in, and it's just been amazing.
As every business, it was a step at a time.
We're pretty determined people, especially from where we came from.
So Randy's in charge of merchandise, I'm in charge of operations, Dad was in charge of facilities, and Mom's in charge of us.
I know you treat your employees like family, you treat the people you guys deal with like family.
Greedy is not in my vocabulary.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's a good life.
Yes, ma'am. What a great honor it was for the sales organization to get to interview the Reid family and help put together this 50-year tribute. You know, when you look at the Reid family and their success, you often wonder, how does a family business go from a one-room gift shop to this great thing that we're all enjoying today? Well, this is going to be a behind-the-scenes look. You're going to see the Reid family in their natural element. Their decisions were made around tables, whether it was the breakfast table or the diner or their boardroom table. You're going to see how they collaborate, how they work together, and share in some of the fantastic stories that has made this journey so special for them and us as well. So we hope you enjoy this, and we hope that we are honoring a great family and a great legacy on their 50th anniversary. So I'm here with Miss Ida Reid. Miss Ida, this is the desk where all the heavy lifting comes from, right?
Oh, yes. It certainly does.
Yeah. So we're with the founder and president of Shepherd Hills Cutlery, celebrating the 50th anniversary. That's a huge milestone, Miss Ida, and so many people are so excited about the event, the anniversary, but just Shepherd Hills.
We're sure glad to have you here to help us, though. You are great. You don't have to brag on you.
Well,
But we are pleased with all the people that do help us, and we enjoy it, actually.
yes, ma'am. Well, we have a great opportunity. We visited with Miss Ida. We've seen kind of the humble beginnings, I think is what we called it. Rod called it the shotgun house. I got an education on that, kind of the house that you grew up in and the first store and how you guys started the store, you and Mr. Reid, but really you started the store, both in the initial building and the progression to what it is today, and just how with Rod and Randy and Becky and the grandchildren, everybody coming into the business, how you guys have taken that from what it was and what your vision was to get Rod and Randy through school. Congratulations on that. To actually what it's become today. And that's your leadership, that's your character in motion and all the things that you guys have done. So
Yeah, and it has gone fast, really, but we have kept busy. We've made on the move.
yes, ma'am.
And so we hope to have more.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I know in one of the conversations we had, I think you said, if I could turn back time, which we got to share a story, but we won't share it. We won't do that here. But if you could turn back time and look at things differently, or even have any idea what this would become. Is there anything you would have done differently?
Not really,
Yeah.
not really. As you go along, you make a little difference and do things.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe we should have done that,
Right.
but it's okay. So we don't dwell on that.
Those things you learn from, right? That's
Yes,
how you
yes.
get better every day,
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's just been fantastic. I know, one of the things that we looked at is how important you guys are to the Case brand. And Ida Reid starts it all. Shepherd Hills, Randy, Rod, Becky, everybody steps in, and it's just been amazing with that. But one of the things that has allowed the Case customer to do is get to know Ida, get to know the Reid family, and you had some pretty special events that are centered around you and Tony Bowes and you and George Brinkley and you and the presidents of Case. But
I just wish they were here to be with us on
yes,
this
ma'am.
one.
Yeah, I do too, to help celebrate. But
Yeah.
I know the customers have always enjoyed just getting to know you and getting to just kind of honor you in a way.
They really feel like when they're coming here, they're coming in home, really coming
Right.
for the people and the Case knives that they love.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
They really are very comfortable. They're not ready to go home when they leave.
Oh, I know. They say, and they don't even mind spending money because
No.
it's such a great experience,
Uh-huh,
and you guys have done such a good job
Yeah.
with that. We're going to be showing this for the first time at the celebration. It's a 28th celebration. It's the 50th anniversary of Shepherd Hills. Just the relationships that you have helped and allowed to be created during that is just fantastic and always a highlight of my year. But I know you enjoy talking to the folks too.
Definitely. No, we enjoy it, like I've said so many times. But,
Yes, ma'am.
But people like you
Well,
make it a plus.
Well,
I'll tell you that right.
well, I appreciate that.
You and the company working with us.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Well, from myself to everybody that's ever been associated with Shepherd Hills, I'll speak selfishly on the Case side, but I know it deals with every vendor that you guys have ever worked with. You guys become family, and you welcome us like family. So we don't want to disappoint Mama. We don't want to disappoint the rest of the Reid family. But I think it just can't be stated enough that your vision to start this company 50 years ago today, the fact that you're sitting at this desk 50 years later, that you still oversee the boys and just make sure that they keep them out of trouble.
You got to. Once in a while they'll run. Just wipe the shoe on now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But no, I just think it's just such an honor for us to be here. I know everybody that's going to watch this video. We've always said when we introduce Miss Ida, they know that you're the boss. Do they all know that you were the inspiration and the founding and the first employee, and for many years the only employee, I think, working to make sure that this business got off the ground, that this business, you set a foundation so that your boys and their families could come in and build it to what it is today.
As every business, it was a step at a time.
Yes, ma'am.
But
Yes, ma'am.
you wanted to look ahead for the next step.
Right.
If you don't, you're going to go down.
Absolutely. Got to look back to go forward.
Right.
We've said that at Case. We've done that a time or two, but you got to look back
That's
to go
right,
forward.
exactly.
And we talk about it in some of the other video, but to talk about the partnership that you and Mr. Reid had, you can't talk about Miss Ida and her vision
I won't let you.
without Mr. Reid. That's exactly right. We miss him dearly, but his presence is still felt every day.
Everywhere you look in this place, you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
find me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Well, that's what makes Shepherd Hills so special in my mind is the family, the core family values that still exist today, the family involvement, the employees and the associates that you have that are like family. Rod shared some of the list. You've got some folks who've been here a long time.
Definitely.
Yeah. And that speaks to you guys and to, always comes back to the leadership at the top. So.
Well, I appreciate all of you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, we're excited to share in your 50th anniversary. We're excited to look at kind of a recap of the last 50 years.
Definitely.
And man, the future's bright. So we're glad to be a part, and we're going to be along for the ride. So thank you, Miss Ida. We love you.
Sweetheart.
We love you. Mwah. All right. So you had a little bit of retail in your blood.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm proud of that.
Well, then you and Mr. Reid bought the first hotel, right? I think you were showing us some pictures of that, and we've got some pictures that that we'll look at on those. So, and then you guys got in the hotel business.
From January 1st of 1961, and then you guys sold it in 67.
Right.
Okay.
And that motel was located on the exact same piece of property as we're saying
That's the
here
store
today.
right now.
And then, well, we'll go on to how the store first came about.
Yeah.
That you had enough money for me to be in college, but not for both of us.
Right.
Didn't want to leave Randy out. That's probably a good move.
And through my eyes, we had enough money to put me through college. And Ron was on the outside. That was my vote.
Mom had always said when they had the motel, and our cousins owned Shepherd Hills Motel.
Right.
And Mom had always said, one of these days, I want to build a gift shop.
I always said too, and I didn't realize this until, gosh, a few celebrations in, that this is Route 66. So your motel was on Route 66. I don't even know if the interstate was here at the time or were they.
This section was.
Well, you were showing me some pictures too of your house, your childhood home, and just how like you said, I think you said humble beginnings, that you guys didn't have running water for a while. You didn't have I know you didn't have air conditioning.
We had an outhouse.
Yeah. Oh, so you had a bathroom, right?
But we had an outhouse.
Yes, ma'am.
That was not good, but we made it.
Well, I think it speaks to the hard work and determination and inspiration when you look at your family. That this is something you wanted to do for your family, and just.
Well, it's a good life.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a good life.
If you work hard enough, right, and you.
Darn right.
50 years. That's incredible to think. Yeah.
That's the thing.
It doesn't seem possible. And you said retail was always in your blood, so maybe you did envision
I
that
guess in a way,
this gift shop would turn into
Yeah.
this empire that you have created.
From the very beginning, we started selling walnut bowls, with Lebanon being
Right.
For Southwest Missouri's got a lot of walnut.
If I'm not mistaken, when I first met you guys, the name of your stores were Walnut Bowls. That was the.
Yeah.
And you've always kind of had Shepherd Hills in the background. People would ask me, I didn't see Shepherd Hills on the building. I'm like, well, they usually focus on, Chicago cutlery, walnut bowls, case knives, all.
We sold souvenirs for many years in addition to the walnut bowls.
Right.
And there was a duck on the stand. And he would dip his head in the water glass. And then come back up and swing back and forth for a while. But you let the water get too low, no drinky duck. So that was an everyday job to make sure the duck had water.
Had water. You had the one store, and did it stay in that location until this one was built?
Yeah, it stayed. It was where the parking lot is today.
Okay.
So we Mom and Dad built it in '72, and then we added on in '75.
Okay.
And then added on again after that. One of the most important things Dad recognized it from the beginning is how important it was to have a clean bathroom.
Yes, we talked about that the other day. Absolutely.
So he was very adamant that we kept clean restrooms. And then when he designed this new building, he kept that in mind. So downstairs, instead of just the men and women's restroom, there's a third restroom in the middle connected by a hallway. Because when you clean the restroom for safety, you've got to shut one off. Well, if you shut off the restroom for 20 minutes to clean,
And the bus comes in.
Yeah. And they all got to go.
you got a problem.
Yeah.
So Dad made it to where if you're cleaning the men's restroom, you shut the door to the men's restroom, open the door to this hallway, and the middle restroom is the men's restroom. And then when you get that done, you flop those doors back, open the door at the other end of the hallway where the women's restroom is, and that middle restroom is the women's restroom.
It's
And
genius. I
You're,
mean, really.
you're never shut down, but yet you still can clean the restrooms appropriately.
Well, probably in 1990, we got some closeouts from Chicago Cutlery on Chicago Cutlery pocket knives. They sold really well, real well. but they didn't have a whole lot of them, and they were discontinued. Well, through Lon Stanton, we got acquainted with a guy by the name of Louis Graves. And Louis was having Stanton's make handles for his crock stick knife sharpeners. Well, Louis got to where he couldn't pay his bill, but he had an airplane. So he traded Stanton's an airplane to clear up his bill. Well, we knew he had a connection to pocket knives, just didn't know what it was. So we called him up and said, Louis, what do you know about pocket knives? He said, well, my aunt was married to Russ Case, and I lived with him every summer as a kid. So it kind of helped grease the skids a little bit.
Right, right.
And we got a hold of Case and through Louis, and off we went.
You challenged Case with new and exciting stuff, the 5-bladed trappers, the Route 66 knife we talked about, the things that are important to them or unique and special, and
They
that's
finally woke up.
it woke up. They're right. They woke the giant, the sleeping giant in the Midwest. So Rod and Randy, obviously in the 50 years of Shepherd Hills, there are a few markers out there, right? They're markers probably when you built the new store, when you guys transitioned, when you guys came into the company. But the one shining marker for us and me personally is when you guys elected to bring on the Case brand. And that was done, we said Zippo is going to celebrate 30 years of ownership next year. This predates the Zippo ownership just by a little bit, bit. But like I think you often do, and you said that Ron Gray and a few other people kind of recommended Case, but you started with some closeouts and a deal. Everybody wants a deal.
Everybody wants a deal, yeah.
Um,
But we got the deal through the connection with Louis Graves. Louis, whose aunt was married to Russ Case, which was a very good, insightful acquisition of friends we had there. And they was going through a situation with the company,
right.
and we had the opportunity to buy some closeouts. We had conferred with Ron Gray and Larry Banner. And they said, if you can get Case, you better get it. And boy, were they ever right.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably a big risk at the time too, right? I mean, going from selling nothing to
Well, we
What's
kind of reenacted the discussion between buying and finance earlier.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. That's right. So
No, it really was, and truly that is the way we work together.
right.
Is we've each got our roles. Randy had come up with this, and I kind of had to do the finance side.
Figure out how to pay for it.
We worked it out.
Yeah.
And we took that might have been the period that the 6 months worth of paychecks were under the water.
It might have been.
But that is, and that kind of launched, and then from there we talked about the billboard advertising. You guys started billboard advertising. We said, and Rod, you probably know the specifics of this, and I've had people all along. I've seen so many billboards. You guys at one point were the largest outdoor advertiser
in the state of Missouri, and maybe still are.
Maybe, yeah.
We've got somewhere around 70 billboards.
70 billboards.
Yeah,
Wow.
that are seen, each one seen with 25,000 cars a day.
Wow.
So
yeah, you do a little bit of math, and you got to move that. You got to have an exponent in there pretty quick, right? It's,
you've got to get that mind of what is this? This
Right.
must be a big deal,
right.
and that's part of Randy and I've talked about this in the past. It's my job to get them in the door, and it's
Right.
his job to have a good product to sell.
Have something they want.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We get that right most of the time.
My fondest memories of working with Shepherd Hills is pushing that envelope a little bit, and you've always, I'm like, man, has he been drinking?
Probably.
maybe, but when you look at some of the things that you've done and some of the messages that you've carried back to Bradford, and really the things that have transformed a lot of our product line, a lot of that came from this room, this table, and you specifically on a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, I was sitting at the table at the Penn Hills Club when we're having dinner, and Randy said to the guys, "Did you ever think about making a half wore out knife?" This guy's nuts.
Right.
And so he pulled out one of the new knives, handed it to him, said, "Now feel this." And then he pulled out an old knife and said, "Feel this."
Right.
There's a world of difference. And they go, this hillbilly ain't crazy.
You know, a lot of that came from a visit from Maury Ford. That Maury had come to the Lebanon store and we were back in my office, and on my desk I had a new knife, then I had a old used knife which was worn down. And Maury, like many others that came into my office, would pick up that worn knife and sit there and talk to me and rub it.
Right.
They sit there and rub it with their thing. It felt good to rub across that smoothness of that bone. So we said, why would you not try to wear one out to start with? And we couldn't get Bradford to go along with it at first. They were like, nah, we ain't gonna do that. But we were in Bradford not too long after that. Me and Maury and Eddie Jessup. And Eddie said, let's go back here and try that. Get somebody to try and wear one out for us. It was just the three of us.
Right.
And by golly, we did. And you know what? People liked it. And they still like it. So,
It became pocket worn.
yeah, it was
It
pocket
became,
worn.
the pocket worn was born at that moment.
Yeah.
And it's just, and that way, and even George Brinkley and all of them would say that as we did pocket worn, it transcended through the whole factory. So every knife became a little more rounded. They hefted a little bit more, even those that weren't pocket worn, but those that were, they wore them out a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
their granddad's knife that came out. Why don't you make it like this anymore? Man, you carried that for 20 years. We can't. And so we aged it. It's and that was y'all's deal.
Well, it was at that very same dinner at Penn Hills that Randy's second crazy idea was, did you ever think about making a pink handled pocket knife? And honestly, at that time, there was not a pink handled pocket knife by any brand anywhere.
Yeah.
And the guys obviously thought we were nuts. This wasn't too far off, probably. But it was a few weeks later, we was down at Big Cedar Lodge, and Maury and Eddie and Dick Carney came down.
Yeah.
And Dick pulled out of his pocket, his hand, and he said, here you go, big boy. It was a pink knife. And Eddie and Dick and Maury were just laughing. And I said, book it.
Yeah.
And Eddie, of course, was saying, okay.
I think, was it Eddie that came up with bubble gum? We called it,
Yeah,
instead of bubble gum, we were going to call it bubble gum.
Yeah.
Again, we could go on and on for 1,000 years to talk about just all the great times, all the great ideas. There's some not so great, but those.
Some not so great. We had an idea once, speaking of not so great, that we'd seen these T-shirts over in Hawaii that were coffee dyed.
Oh,
Man, that's pretty cool. What if we made a pocket knife that was coffee dyed? Well, again, Case was kind of giving us a little bit of latitude, so how about dyeing some bone coffee? By golly, they'll do it. Well, I guess the plant smelled like a brewer, a coffee brewer.
And the
May have
problem
been-
with that?
Yeah, it had been before Starbucks, but it was
Before Starbucks. They sold okay.
Yeah.
But that's about it. It was okay.
I do remember the coffee dye. There's been coffee dye. There's been, we've tried other things. I don't know. I can't.
We've tried a lot of stuff.
We've tried a lot of stuff. We've been rejected on a lot of stuff.
We've learned to accept rejection.
Well, the events, of course, we talk about the events, the Branson, the Eddyville, those that we've done at other stores, but obviously Celebration is, I say it's our flagship event. It is the big, and I tell everybody, if you're going to one Case event, you got to come to Celebration. But there's so many great things about that. But Miss Becky, I will have to say, another stake in the ground for us is when you brought your education expertise and your passion for children and young folks and really develop Camp Case. We take ownership of that like it's ours. Like, oh yeah, we do this camp for kids. But you guys 100% you created the idea, you've expanded it, 425 kids a year.
Yeah.
And you probably, I know you have to cut off registration just because
Yeah.
that's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
But
Well, we don't have any more room. That's all we can do.
but the camp, tell us a little about the camp. It's just
Well,
amazing.
there are lots of benefits to Camp Case, but to me, the biggest benefit is the connection that those kids develop between themselves and the people that they care about, the people that are important in their lives. The other benefits, kids learn about knives. They learn how to care for knives. They learn how to handle a knife. They're educated on the processes that go into making a knife. And they get a leg up on a collection.
Right.
Part of that camp is starting their own collection. And again, that causes that connection between them and that next generation, their grandparents or their parents. And So memories shared, memories made,
Right.
and then they are introduced to a hobby that can last their lifetime.
Surprisingly, I'm in product, and I'm asked a lot, can I get a better price on this knife?
Right.
But the thing I'm asked more so than that is one question. Can you get my kid in camp case?
Yeah, that's right.
It is.
Hey. Well, guys, we're here with, I guess, some of the nucleus of Shepherd Hills Cutlery. Some of the things we're doing is talking about the 50th anniversary and what a great celebration that we've got. I think I did the addition. I think sitting around this table is 115 years of work experience at Shepherd Hills Cutlery. I know it makes you feel tired, makes you feel old, but it's also a huge testimony to Shepherd Hills brand, the company itself, the success that you guys helped create. That was so important to do that. So we've had a chance to visit with Miss Ida. We've had a chance to talk about some of the history and the early starts. But so we've got obviously Kim Coffey, we've got Ron Gray, we've got Chrissy Howe, we've got Lee Frank, we've got Reg Snyder. You guys all had an integral part in so many things. So Kim, why don't you start it? Tell us.
You're not a number here.
Right.
Okay.
No.
You might have a nickname, but I cannot stress that enough to the Reids, and to the rest of the people. Any employee down there, good day or bad day, and you're going to have some differences along the way, but at the end of the day, it's what it is, and a lot of people may not have an extended family like Chrissy to go to, so we call each other in the middle of the night.
Right.
But I have to say that doesn't happen a lot in a lot of places that you work.
Right.
So
No,
for that I am thankful.
And most of us on the outside looking in see that really at the store level. Even you go to Eddyville, you go to Brand Center, you go to any of your stores, and you see that same. And I've even told Rod and Randy, I'm like, I don't know how everybody is so. They all think alike, and they act. The attitudes are great. They're really customer service oriented, but it's more than that. It's kind of that foundation, just like you're talking about. It is family. You want things to go well and do well, and you want everybody to succeed. And there's just a spirit that.
Right.
Everybody has the same goal in the end. They want to take
Right.
care of the customer, let that customer enjoy shopping here, and not feel like, man, I just hate to go to Shepherd Hills.
Right.
They want to go there.
Yeah.
They want to buy them.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
We've been very fortunate over the years and a good team from the floor. They're the experts.
Right.
They really are.
Just
And
support that.
it's amazing a lot of times. I've mentioned it. You listen to some of the guys on the floor,
Right.
and I don't buy what they're. I don't buy what they're talking about. I mean, golly,
That's pretty good, right?
I hear this over on the side, and I'm thinking, wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty neat, But very fortunate to come in to a business,
Right.
and the way things are and everything, but they really are sincere. When a customer comes in, it's insincere, and you're the most important thing of their day right now in front of them. And that's the way it should be.
And that's always on Reg's mind, even when he's in the warehouse,
Right.
is the customer.
Right.
He's not thinking, well, I need to take care of this for Lee. That ain't, not that on his mind. It's, I'm doing this to take care of the customer.
Well, we're just very fortunate to be a part of the whole organization.
I thank you for being here and for 50 wonderful years.
How's it going, folks? Grant Duke here, and on behalf of the Case and Zippo family, I'd like to congratulate Ida and the entire Reid family on 50 years of success. Half a century is no easy task, and the fact that you kept it a true family business over the years speaks volumes. I wish you the best at the Case celebration at the Ozarks coming up, as your business and your family celebrate 50 years of legacy. I hope to see you all soon, and again, congratulations on your success and being such a vital part of the Case brand. Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you to all the Reid family. We appreciate everything that you've given to America, keeping us strong and safe. So God bless you all. Thank you.
Hi folks, Greg Booth here. It's a real honor to be part of the celebration in the Ozarks again this year, albeit remotely. and given the opportunity to personally congratulate Ida Reid and each member of the Reid family for 50 years of successful business, competing in a very difficult marketplace and making it work. Again, congratulations. Congratulations to Ida, Randy, Kathy, Rod, Becky, all of the Reid kids and everyone associated with Shepherd Hills. You've done a fabulous job. Congratulations. We also appreciate your work as a wonderful ambassador to our Case and Zippo brands. In the 20 years that I've been involved in the business, Shepherd Hills has either been our largest customer or very close to our largest customer each and every one of those 20 years. Thank you so very much for being great ambassadors for our brand and growing our business for us so successfully over the years. It's great doing business with successful entrepreneurs like yourselves, but it's also great to do business with good friends. Thank you so much for all you've done for Case and Zippo over the years. We're all celebrating with you, and we know that Reid is celebrating with you as well. God bless you all and enjoy your weekend.
Hello, Miss Ida Reid. Marty Stewart coming to you from foggy old London, backstage here at the O2 Arena out on the concert trail. Our friend Eddie Jessup tells me that it is your and the family's 50th anniversary in business, and I want to thank you, congratulate you, and salute you for keeping family business alive in this country. We need so many more like you. We love your spirit. Me and the Superlatives wish we could be with you this year, but as you can see, we're out here working. But next year, mark it down. We're going to come see you and I want to hug your neck in person. The Shepherd Hills Festival, I hear it's the Super Bowl of all these kind of shows to celebrate Case knives in America. So we're going to get Eddie Jessup to join us, all the Reid family, maybe Connie Smith will come and we'll have a big celebration next year. So we look forward to seeing you then. Lots of love and carry on.
Mom, got a situation.
Yes, what is it?
Got a real deal from Roy Ford on a bunch of Case knives, closeouts.
Yes.
Mr. Finance over here, big brother, saying inventory's too high. It's a deal. We'll make money. It's a great deal. Customers will love it.
Okay, let me explain to you. We got this thing called a bank account, and you got the money in it, and we've used it all buying sun catchers. Sun catchers. We've got 62,000 sun catchers. We've been selling for 6 months, and we're down to 61,994.
But they sold great at first.
He does have things going like that. All of us, I think, feel that we need to let it out and figure it out what the other guy's going to do.
We have customer appreciation. I'd like a little brother appreciation. I mean, when does that kick in? I don't. I've been almost 70 years waiting for it to kick in, and it ain't happened.
It ain't happened.
It ain't happened.
Okay. Tell Maury that we'll pay for it with sun catchers.
Maury will attempt to pay for it with sun catchers. Can we trade you 100 sun catchers for every trapper?
We'll send that up the phone. We'll see that.
Okay.
Well, I think we need to put this away for the moment and get back to work.
Okay.
There you go.
That didn't help.
Boys, what's going on here?
He started it.
No, it was him.
We were done, but he always has to have the last word.
Well,
Big brother, last word.
But he has to just keep going. Just keep going.
I think both of you need to keep going to your offices.